Welcome, everyone, to this nice edition of Talented Universe, our fifth show for this week. This is kind of crazy, but today we have a special guest. I'm going to quickly mention our co-host, and then we're going to go to our wonderful guest. I'm going to go with Greg first today. Greg, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing great. Marcia, how are you doing in sunny Florida?
Fabulous. Not
Hopefully
too hot
sunny.
here yet. Of course, I'm inside, but happy to be here.
Happy to be here. And I would like to introduce, again, for the third visit with us, so happy, Paul Murray, or was it Dr. Stenaris? Was that what it was?
Dr. Stenaris.
Dr. Stenaris.
Dr. Stenaris,
and Mr. Trust.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
I am going to ask the first question because I saw your character. I didn't think anything of it at first when you're introducing, at the beginning. But as it got along, I go, how much is he channeling Mr. Trust for this character?
It's quite a lot, isn't it? They I think it's there's a definite crossover. I mean, I think that they have you taped as the bad guy, the suspicious guy. I think he was able to. I think he was able to fake his. How would you call it? His
corruption.
Fake his pleasantries a little bit easier. I think he was a bit more, probably accepted in the academic community and had colleagues, and he was showing his gentle side to Kirsch when she had a problem. So I think he was slightly. I think he was not quite as socially awkward as Trust, but definitely he was an ego the size of a whatever planet, for sure. I don't know what that says about me, but there we are. Hopefully not much.
Well, I will go to one question, then I'm going to go to Paul, I'll let you pick what a co-host after I say this question. Who would you like to, Greg or Marcia?
Well, Marcia's right there in the middle. My eyes are
okay. Well, we'll go with that. But let me do. Yeah. Linda has a question that you might have to, since you played this character, maybe you know the answer. First, the memory crystal. Is it a form of hypnosis? What is your thoughts on that?
That's such a good question. It's such a good question. I don't think it is, because I think it actually, I think it removes memories from the brain. Mm-hmm. So I think it is. My feeling is, I mean, when you saw Vikram, when you saw all those kind of images coming out of his head, which I think they did really well. I think that there is, things are being kind of uploaded, downloaded from the brain, which is sort of beyond your control. So I wouldn't describe it as hypnosis, but it's because I think something actually is physically being changed in the brain. Mm-hmm. And as far as I know about hypnosis, it doesn't necessarily may sort of adjust the wiring in the brain, but I think you actually lose something that you can't get back. So
yeah. Okay, Marcia.
Yeah. So first, I want to make sure everybody knows the episode we're talking about is episode 5 and the memory crystal. And when I approached the episode, I started watching. I knew you were going to be in it, but I didn't know where. Mm-hmm. And I was actually delighted to actually hear your voice first for just a split second.
Really, was it?
And I went, there he is.
Good. I didn't spell that one.
And I didn't know whether you were going to be a sinister character or you were going to be, good, evil, had no preconceived notion of what you were going to bring.
That's good.
Until
when the professor lost her memory on stage, and you were so kind and so
really,
you were helping her, and I thought,
Marcia. Really? just because we got. I just. Look, and you know what? Milan was telling me, and I think this is very cool to hear, because Milan, the director, was telling me, okay, no one should suspect it's you. Nobody should suspect it's you. And so I was going as concerned, as genuine as I possibly can, but still I didn't get past too much.
Well, and it was delightful. And later on in the episode, when we hear you talking to Vikram and you mentioned Shakespeare, of course, it flashed in my head.
Yeah. Well, maybe you're referring to, I do quite a lot of work with Shakespeare.
Yes.
I do adaptations for kids and schools and what have you. Now obviously I know the writers of the show, and they've written for me before, but I didn't know whether that was a direct reference to me or not. So I never asked that question, but it's something that I will ask, because I of course when I read it, the lights go off a little bit, but I don't know, but it was just for me it was just a nice reference.
Well, it gave me a smile anyway.
Thank you. Good. Yeah.
So
I'm happy.
I'll throw it to Greg.
Yeah, I have to concur with Marcia. When I first saw you, I'm like, oh, good, he's going to get to play everybody's favorite professor. And I'm like, no, they're going to use Paul for the bad guy.
Yeah. One day I'll be the good guy. You guys, if I do that, you guys will still be watching, going, he's something's going to happen. Yeah.
So, I'm noticing a trend with you taking on these scientific roles. Are you having a lot of fun with that?
Yeah, I am. It's I think it's great fun. I mean, I think the sci-fi stuff is just wonderful. I mean, it's a genre which just can really go anywhere you want. And I know there are sort of people who are a bit more stickler for the science part of it, but I think what these guys do so well is the fiction part of it. They don't forget that it's fun. We can go anywhere. We can suspend our disbelief a little bit about certain things. And that combination I really enjoy. That combination that it's not about, because a lot of my favorite sci-fi shows, there's a hole in the ship and it's a bit of chewing gum stuck on the side. We managed to get it home. I mean, there's no way that's going to happen. But for the story, for the fiction, that's what makes it work. And I can watch that really happily, peacefully, without grumbling. So I think that's what makes it fun. And sometimes the lines are a bit hard to learn because you're doing this kind of science stuff, and there can be a bit of a tongue twister. But apart from that, no, there's no downside for me.
Speaking of tongue twister, you did have at the end what you refer to Vikram as.
Oh God! Now you're testing me. It's been a long time since we shot it.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Well, you call him a crypto cult. They call them a crypto cult organization called the Library.
Yes, crypto cult organization called the Library, and that was all in one take, of course. So, and the trick there is not letting the fear show in your eyes. But no, that was a tongue twister. That's a really long. For people who don't know, it's very rare that you have. So, on that shot. For those of you who haven't seen it, it starts pretty much like there, if I can get that right. Sort of eyes, and then it's coming out, and then the orderly comes across, then it's panning back, then the door shuts and the camera's through the window of the door. Yes. So all of that has to be done, and it was the last shot of the
I think it was actually, we did it chronologically. So it was the last shot of the series that we did. And again, if you think about it too much, you're kind of lost, because it's a long time and a lot of words to get out. But I think we did it in 2 takes, I think. And of course they have to take the whole one. They can't cut it. So I was it was a nice challenge. I think other people were
like a fun challenge.
Yeah,
I
really,
always
really.
thought great, watching actors like Brad Dourif portray these insane characters. It just looks like so much fun.
Oh yeah, and you're thinking afterwards, like, God, he could have been crazier, or he could have been, but no, but it is fun. Those are the real. I mean, Stenaris is still there. He's still, as far as we know, he's still in that facility. So, if they ever bring him back, I would love to do it again, because I think he's really out there. And
well, just so you know, Paul, we did a review show last night of your episode, and one of the things we all said was, "Ooh, do you think they're going to bring him back?"
I'm up for that. Yeah. No, I think. And
hopefully
I think
he was watching. I mean,
hopefully, because Stenaris is really unhinged now. And I think
totally.
And that would be, I could see him trying to redeem himself. He has got a certain knowledge which only he's got. I have to bring him out. I don't know, but yeah, I would love it. Yeah. Playing unhinged characters is great.
So just to tag on in that scene, on in one picture I've seen that you had your arms, and I could actually see part of your bare arms, but in the show, you were in a straitjacket.
Yep. Yeah. Good spot. Yeah. It took me a second on that one as well. That was one of the shots from the photographer on the set. So we were doing kind of some posed shots at the end there. So that was one of those. That's when the sleeves were rolled up. Yeah. So you can actually tell I'm not particularly tied down on that one.
Did they actually put a straitjacket on you?
Yes, they did.
That had to be fun.
Yeah. It's
did
at that
they
point.
leave you? Did they leave you after they did it, or?
They left me just long enough to start a little bit of a concern, as they do. I know the guys pretty well, and they just long enough to make me think, are they going to leave me? And then they came and got me. So
and they came and got you.
Yeah.
Let me do a few more questions in the chat room. Rick, I guess, is a huge ARC fan.
Yes, hi, Rick.
It says sinister.
Yeah.
And then he says, I've watched all of the ARC and need to start on the Librarians. Yes, you do, Rick. It is wonderful. It is wonderful.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Yeah, big up to you. It's a very fun show. And it's also a really good way to see Serbia, because it's set in Serbia, and they really what they did with the locations is pretty astonishing. And now, as far as I know, they looked around Serbia. They know Serbia pretty well because they've been here before, and they looked at the locations that they wanted, and then they wrote around those locations. So it's a really, really, really interesting way to do it. They wrote around. They found the locations, and then wrote to those.
They got them secured, and then they wrote the that.
Yeah. And there's that I think goes through the whole series. Yeah.
That is so cool. And Justin has a question. Then we'll go back to probably to Greg. We're gonna go to Greg after this. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being you are that person, how much do you relate to Dr. Frederick
Stenaris? 1 to 10. How much do I relate to stuff? What do we know about Stenaris?
The full picture of Stenaris, not what we saw at the beginning.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my wife would have a view on that. It might be different.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. She would probably say like 8.
Okay.
And I'd say 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, there's the thing, like playing these parts, they're all sort of exaggerated, and they do make you think. Like, this is a guy who's just jumping on the back of somebody else's vision, and he's lucky enough to stumble across this, and he's going to take credit for it, and he's got a huge kind of view of himself. So I think with these characters, it's they say the things that we kind of think about secretly about ourselves occasionally. God, if only everyone would listen to me, the world would be better. We say that to ourselves. We don't necessarily say those things out loud. And these guys, they say them out loud. So it's sort of that's what I like about them. They wouldn't survive very long in polite society, but they allow us to kind of get rid of these little things we have inside us. So I mean, let's say 5. I'm going to go down the middle.
Okay, in the middle. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Greg.
So obviously it's been a while since you've filmed this particular episode.
Yeah.
I understand filming the Ark is jumping back in. Do you have any other film or stage productions in progress currently?
Yes, we've just finished. I believe I can share. I think we've just been doing Robin Hood.
I've heard about that.
Yeah. So they're filming until the end of July. I think I'm wrapped, but I'm just waiting to hear about that. So that's been a wonderful experience. I think that's going to be coming out. I don't know the release date of that yet, but no, that's been a wonderful experience, and that's a great show. A lot of great people on it, and so looking forward to that coming out. There's
Jonathan English is running that. Is that correct?
Yep. He's the writer of that and co-writer of that with John Glenn, and they've just done a wonderful job. I mean, the script is fantastic. It's a particular telling of that story, that we're all familiar with, but the sets they built, the scope of the story is just phenomenal. So that's been a good experience. We've got.
Were you a major player in that, or just
not a major player, but no,
in more than one episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, very happy with what I had to do. So
good.
So that's been good, and they've got some great people on that. Yeah. And some people who you will also recognize some other people.
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
which is great.
No, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I mean, we're there's no need to travel very much for work these days because a lot of things are happening here. We did a movie. There's a movie, couple of movies coming out. Don't know when, so I can't really say much about those. But I did. I think my episodes of Miss Scarlet and the Duke came out relatively recently.
Yeah,
I have a sort of recurring role on that. That's something very different. That's I got a lot of hair in that one.
For a disguise, or they just wanted
you? No. I just he's a guy with lots of hair. So that's nice. Warm, but nice. And quite. I mean, he's a dodgy character, of course, but dodgy in a different kind of way.
Hide stuff under the hair, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a dodgy antiques dealer from London. Yeah, Gibson, Mr. Gibson. So that's out there somewhere to be seen. Yeah. So it's been a busy time, and and now we're back with the family. We did the first read through today of the first few episodes of Ark.
Of the Ark.
So we're back with the guys, and we start filming on Monday. Start shooting on Monday.
Oh wow!
It's very exciting. It's great to be back. Yeah.
Excellent. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
We're all looking forward to that. It's like.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I think with the disruptions and things of the last series, and for us, I mean, in terms of like the making of it, so we've got a clear run at it this time. So all being well, we'll we go right through till October, and that would be. I mean, they've got. I mean, just on the first episodes we've seen, It's great. It's great. I can't tell anything, obviously, but maybe off air.
Well, where they left off, there's a lot of potential.
Oh God, yeah. No, and they've really done. Again, with these guys, it's this. You make your own predictions about where it's going to go, and you kind of have.
And you're wrong.
Absolutely, every time, and they've just surpassed it. I think just the way they knit everything together is very, very, very good. Mm-hmm.
That does make sense. I had one to say, someone made a comment that is so true, besides like you can't trust, things like that. Mm-hmm. But they also said, oh God, I lost it. Oh, it was basically they said, Dean puts all these people together and uses them all the time, like we had talked about before. It's just he just brings people in that he knows can do things, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, across all his shows, you see that.
Mm-hmm.
And that that's whenever you're doing one of his shows, you're turning up, and there's always another part of the family, as it were, and they get you. I mean, someone said earlier on about, do they write for you? I think they do. They say, okay, we're going to push him slightly in this different direction, or push him over here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so you're never really starting from scratch, even though it may be a different show or a different character, and they're on your side. So as an actor, that means a lot.
Cool. Okay, Marcia.
When we were talking about the wonderful sets for Robin Hood, and of course York has incredible sets. I was curious about the observatory, your observatory. How much of that was real? Were you actually in a real observatory?
Absolutely, all real. Yep.
Wow.
That's the now again, because it's been a while, I forget a lot of the history about it. But that was a real telescope. I think it's not working now. It's been not working for some time, but during the Yugoslavian period, that was one of the main observatory. So that whole telescope, that whole observatory, I think it's a museum now, and we got to go up there. It all moves. It would work very easily if they just kind of twisted a couple of things, take a bit of safety catch off. But it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'd never been there. I'd been here quite a long time, and I'd never visited the place. So it was, and we only had one day there, I think.
Well, that was it. Oh wow.
Yeah. So there was a lot of reality about that, kind of looking around and being in awe of everything. No, it was, it's great fun. I mean, and the same thing, they had the real train when they're doing the train. That was Tito's train. Wow. So the former president's train is the train they were using for the set. I mean, when you're using these real locations, it has its own challenges, because when you're using a fake train, you could take off one of the walls.
Right.
And, you can have the cameras like way back, but you can't take off the wall of the train. So there's a lot of challenges when you're going on locations for things like that. But the payoffs are obvious on the screen, and then then they put the special effects on top of that, and which they also do a great job of. And
it is really wonderful. Somebody was talking about us learning more about that area, the country, the history, because things are inserted into the script, and you see the scenery and.
Absolutely. And if you're anything like me, it's a country that you've maybe heard of, and the cities you've maybe heard of. You got some kind of references to the troubles in the 90s, or the Winter Olympics was here, or Tito. You have these, but it's not really on our kind of Western radar. And it's just a beautiful place. It's a really beautiful place, and the people and the history. It's very rich. And and on the Ark you don't see it, because we're in the sets all the time. But here they really said, okay, let's do it. Let's get out there, and let's see this country, and let's show it off. And I think there is part of them which is, okay, this is a way of it's a great way of animating our show, but actually it's also a great way of promoting the country. So I'm glad that I'm really glad that comes across. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And in a way, it's almost surprising because we've become so used to CGI and computer to knock ourselves and say, "This is real, Marcia. You're really seeing the country."
Absolutely. And that's a completely fair question about the telescope. Was it actually a telescope? Yeah, I mean, I think we're more inclined to believe that it's like CGI or generated. We see the real thing. It's like, can we trust that? Like, can we trust?
Exactly. Is he telling us the truth, or is it?
Yeah.
Not the truth?
Yeah. No, I was there. He could have fallen off that telescope. There were some dangers around.
That is too funny in that respect. What would you say was your favorite scene to shoot in that episode of The Librarians, or is that difficult?
It's difficult. I think. I mean, because there's elements. I mean, that last shot I really enjoyed. Despite its challenges, because it was sort of quite extreme and there's a lot to think about. The one where I'm torturing Vikram, I enjoyed.
You enjoyed that?
Yeah. Because he's there and it's like it's this powerful position and is that hurting? Is it a woman? Oh shame. Those are always fun. The status thing, and of course when you're doing that, what's going to happen to him? He's going to get his comeuppance. So you can kind of lay it on thick because he's going to get it back. So that's fun. You're doing it with that foreknowledge. So those ones are fun. I mean, it's always it's nice to do the scenes with the groups, because then you're kind of meeting these guys for the first time, like Callum, and that was the first time I met him. So we got on very well on set. So there's the scene itself, and then there's like what's behind it. There are different reasons why you like those particular scenes. But all those guys we got on very, very well. And that was a very early episode. I think that was, although it came out at number 5, episode 5.
Yes.
It may have been the second or third one that was shot. So it was all very new for stuff like that, and for the crew and for the director. So it was all really, still in its infancy, and we were all kind of hanging in there. But no, they did a great job.
Well, I was fortunate. I got to go to Electricon, and they had 3 of the cast members there.
Okay.
And, I mean, my first thought when I saw them all together, I go, well, they act like they've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just saw a camaraderie already. Then they showed us the first act of the first episode, and it blew me away. It blew me away.
Yeah.
And that's when I went up. That's when I went up to Dean afterwards, and I said, Dean, I'd like to help publicize the Librarians. I said, I am really impressed with that first scene that you showed us. I said, and then I said, well, when's it coming out? And he goes, well, probably about 8 months from now, because TNT wants to wait. Are you serious?
Yeah. No, I think that was tough. That was tough for him, because I think they were so happy with what they created. And you just want people to see it.
And when the CW said no, and then he found TNT, and then it was like, oh, we want to wait. And it's like, I'm sure it just killed him. But I'm sure it helped that they said, well, you can start shooting season 2.
Well, that was the payoff, wasn't it? I think that's the one where I said, okay, then we'll go for that. But just on that original point, I think the camaraderie between that cast, I mean, you see it, it's there. I mean, I think every episode you see them, you just see that chemistry working of those characters and how they're developing them. And, I suppose, there's a lot going on in each episode, so it takes time for the character relationships to be seen. They're having to put those in during the action scenes. You've got these duologues and stuff. So,
and I saw them when they'd already finished filming all of season 1.
Right.
So, they'd had that whole season to gel. So
yes, yeah. No, yeah, and they were it's a great dynamic. I mean, the dynamic between those characters they have is really, really good. Different energies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it works well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Greg or Marcia, whoever's.
Well, when we look at an episode, of course, we see it sequentially from beginning to end. When you're filming it, sometimes they're shot out of order or they're shot sequentially. How much does that matter or not matter to you as an actor? What are the challenges?
It's a good question. I mean, I think this episode was pretty sequential. It's rare that happens. You just have to be on top of the continuity of things. I mean, there are obvious things in terms of continuity. If you got hit around the face, then you need a scar. And if it happens before that, then the scar shouldn't be there. But normally you have other people take care of those things for you. People working in makeup and costume and continuity, they'll do that. I think for the characters, it's really just to remember where you are in the character's arc. There are sometimes, I mean, on a previous series, we did the final scene first of a 10-part series, and you're kind of going, well, you just put your faith in the director really at those points, because they're just saying, okay, no, we just need a bit more of this, we need a little bit less of that, we need a little bit of that, and at that point you're kind of going, well, I'm just going to have to trust you on that, because I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to this. I know what's going to happen to this character, but the fact he ends up here, so you're really in their hands. It gets a bit unnerving, I suppose, if you're really out of sequence. So it's rare that you do it sequentially. So you just kind of get used to it, or you rehearse it. If you're lucky, you get a chance to rehearse. You can rehearse it, so you can just kind of you can sort of get a bit of a dynamic, because you try and rehearse it in sequence, and you just kind of remember put it in the memory, and it's like, okay, so it's tough, but it's very familiar that you have to do it that way.
Mm-hmm. So when you go back you haven't been on the set for the arc season 3 yet. If you're allowed to say.
Sneak peek today. Sneak peek today,
That's a huge. I'm excited for you. And for because we last met. When we last saw Mr. Trust, he was back on the planet Home Base 1. I think they call it now.
That's it.
And so we all have to reset that whole dynamic again.
Yes. I can't say.
I know you can. I know you can. We don't want to get you in trouble. Get us in trouble too. So.
We are waiting.
But I will say this, because I had to. Because he wanted to join us, but he couldn't. Jag. He says, "Howdy, great big cast. Nice to see everyone, and all hail Trust."
Thank you. It means a lot. No one's none of the. I don't think any of the fans are going to be disappointed with where they go, and we were there today, and we were in the studio today, and we're seeing the sets being finished, and it's just that feeling of okay, here we go again, and it is a voyage. I mean, it's a voyage. It's 4 months for us.
And then you've got people on the planet.
Yep.
People in a ship.
Yep.
And who knows what else?
Who knows?
Who knows what else?
Knowing Dean, who knows what else?
Who knows what else? I mean, Dean. Yeah.
I shall continue my quest for answers about the Juno project. So.
I know. As well you should.
I've requested that the Juno project just be not mentioned anymore. just for Marcia.
Can't say
Just for Marcia.
Can't say anything. I'd be so
You're in a
disappointed if
position
Marcia
you just
doesn't.
make stuff up too at this point,
So true.
You can,
That's true, Greg.
just
Yeah.
start pairing random people.
Yeah,
and,
yep. Yeah. I'm definitely not as clever as Trustus Damaris, because we would have thought of that, Greg. It's the evil genius in you coming out there.
Yeah,
Very
sorry.
true.
Yeah. Even on your lunch break, look at you.
Of course.
Yeah. No, they no, it's gonna be great fun. Yeah, so we're just settling down. So seeing those sets kind of being put together again, and some new ones, and see the characters and us all kind of stepping back up again. No, it's wonderful. We're very close. I mean, you can tell that, I think, from how we talk about each other and when we appear together on the great shows that you have at the end of the series. We are genuinely very happy to see each other again, and we're not all back yet, but almost. And every time you see somebody, it's just like it's very family feeling. Third season, we've been together a long time now, so.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Well, Linda has a question. I mean, I think I know the answer, but I'm going to let you. Are the studios for the Ark near the Librarian studio?
Yes.
Next to them?
Yep.
Almost. Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. Yeah. We see each other. I ran across. I ran across the guys. Some of the crews are also. They're working on both shows, so you see
that was going to be one of my questions. Though.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see some guys are finishing with Librarians, and then they're going to move over, and other guys start taking a break. But no, I mean, I'm seeing. It's weird, and that's gonna happen. We're crossing over now for. They're not exactly. It's not exactly the same location, but it's very close. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see some of our friends from the Librarians.
From Librarians.
Yeah, for the next.
Well, that'll be cool too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the next. I don't know how long they've got left. Another.
Probably another 5 or 6 weeks. I'd say.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's great.
From what Dean told us last month, so that's.
Okay. Yeah. Well, whatever he says.
Yeah, whatever he says goes. So
smart man.
Yeah. I haven't seen him yet. We saw Jonathan Glasner's in town, so we caught up with him today. That was great. Yeah.
Well, I think Rick might have missed one, but I'm going to throw this one up. Are there any other shows that many of you are working on together with those studios? Is that Robin Hood is filmed there too, or
Robin Hood is there? Yeah, they've got a lot of on locations, but all the sets are built there. Yep, that all happens there as well. So it's been a hectic time for them because they started in February, so they're going through from February. They've got like another month to go, and we go till October. So, and who knows what's coming up after that? So yeah, it's very, very busy time. How they're managing everything is very impressive. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean it's a lot going on over there in Serbia.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And these guys now, crews and what have you, and directors that we're working with. Like Milan on the show, he's directed for Librarians, he directed for the Ark, he's done, loads of stuff. And Toki as well, Orshi, all these guys that are based in the region.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Oshi on.
Yeah. No, she's done. Yeah, we bump into each other all the time.
Yeah, Sandra came on. I think it was last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
great.
She came on and she talked about episode 2.
The ballet.
The ballet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's
That was an amazing. I mean that I don't even know what to call it. I mean, it was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
The concert hall or whatever you want to call it. I mean,
that's the National Theatre. That's the Serbian National Theatre.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
as you said, she's in there for and again because it's used. So they're in there for
one day.
I think they had. Did they? Was it one day?
I think she said one day.
It was quick. Yeah.
She said they rehearsed somewhere else, but they
Yeah.
only had one day at the actual theater, and I just went, oh my.
Yeah, it's great. It was great, and that's it. That's it with these sets. You know, you can get them, but you're not going to get them for very long. So
Not for long.
It better work out. Yeah, so that's a big challenge for the directors there to get everything, to get all the material, because to go back in and do it again, they don't have another chance.
Can't do it. No, can't do it.
It makes it. But at the end of the day, they're kind of you see the clock ticking and. Them all doing the consulting. Do we have everything? Do we have everything? Do we have everything? Do we need? Is there some coverage we didn't have? But they manage, and they manage to keep that stress to themselves rather than giving it to us too much. So that's their job.
Yeah, that is their job. But do we have any final questions? Because I don't want to keep him too long, because I think he's got an early call in the morning.
Well, I understand, Paul, that you like karaoke a little bit. Is that
I'm not going to sing, Marsha, because I'm the only one who likes my karaoke. That's
but give us a hint as to what genre, what where we want to hear you. What are you looking for?
I think I can. I mean, there are the classics. I think this is the English guy in me. There's something about English people and Frank Sinatra that we all think we can do Frank. I like. There's a funny story. I told this story the other day. I was in. Because we were on set. I was doing the makeup test for the Ark, and and I was telling this story because it was Stevie Wonder Superstition came on, right? And it came on. Someone was playing it in the makeup, and I was like, oh, I love this song. And my story about that song is like I can't remember what birthday it was. It was like I was 25, and I happened to be in Dubai, and it was my birthday, and there was a band playing, a really good band, and and then my friends had organized it that they would play Superstition because they knew I was a big Stevie fan, and they organized it so I would go and sing with the band, and I'm not. It's not something. I mean, I'm not like Richard or whatever. My voice is okay, but I thought, well, look, I'm in Dubai. I'm with people I know. Nobody else is going to know me. What the hell? I'll go and do it. So I went and did it, and I swear to God, 5 years later, I go and I was doing delivering some drama class in a university for some guest students, and at the lunch break. This girl who's sort of been looking at me a bit odd, she said, this is a really random question, but have you ever been to Dubai? Yeah. And she said, did you sing in a band? What the heck, really? So, I mean...
So you can't do anything anywhere.
You can't do anything and get away with it. That's the lesson of that. That's the lesson of that story.
That's a riot.
That's a true story. That's a riot. And I'm like, well, yeah. So luckily, then I was thinking back, okay, no, I was okay. Everything's
See, I was thinking you were going to tell us that Dean Devlin was in the audience, and that's where you saw you.
I don't think I'd be working for him if it was in the audience back then. We wouldn't be talking now, Mike. That's my level of karaoke, pretty much.
Love that.
I forgot about it.
Greg, do you have something? Can you top that, Greg?
Probably not, because of course I got to go back to the art and sets and locations. But so at the Observatory Museum, whether we saw it on screen or not, did you have a particular favorite exhibit or antique that you saw that was there? That
just that telescope.
The telescope itself,
just insane.
Crazy,
yeah. I mean, because it was an old school, it was all on the the prisms and the lights and the refractors. It was mechanical. So, and then I remember at the time the guy just telling us about what is possible to see just with mirrors, with lenses, and just the whole thing can move. The whole roof kind of goes with it. So just that feel of it had that sort of Victoriana kind of feel about it. This thing was actually built, designed, engineered. So that was definitely my favorite thing. And the fact that there's a point where I'm sort of playing around with this wheel, and that actually moves the whole thing round. Yeah, no, it's a huge kick.
I know, when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, they let him touch it.
Yeah. That's it, if it wasn't for this job, I'd be behind the rope. But they take the rope off and say, go ahead.
Very
Not
cool.
too much.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
very cool.
So
Very
jealous.
cool.
So jealous.
Now Jag has a comment that I'm going to put up, and I'm starting laughing myself, but this is about what we were just talking about. So he says, Arc Season 3, the musical. Let this manifest.
No. No.
It's not for everybody. Not for everybody. Yeah.
Maybe as a one-off, out of sequence.
Maybe.
Star Trek did that, and they
alternate universe.
Did they? Yeah, you guys know more. You guys, I'm sure, have examples you can pull out of your memories for that stuff. I mean, I think parallel universes where everybody sings and stuff. But I don't know. For me, I mean, there are people in the cast who can really sing, so they don't need me. I would just be clicking along.
You'll be away on another planet
sings.
that day.
Yeah,
I'd say if they do it as like blowing off steam at they put almost like a cafe or something together at the base, then in context it could work. Carry
okay
tonight on the planet.
Yeah. But as a genre, no, I can't. No, I couldn't condone that kind of. Not on my planet.
Your planet. Oh, interesting.
No. It's no way back. No. Kind of, generally speaking. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, Paul. Here, this is the last one. I don't know if you know this or not, but was the observatory also a planetarium at one time? Or
I don't know what the difference is.
Well, planetarium is they generally just throw stars and planets up, and it's in a dome, no telescope, and they just show the heavens.
No, I think it was.
It was
just an observatory. Yeah.
That's what I would have thought too, because they are both configured differently inside. So
right.
Yeah,
okay.
Sometimes they have them next to each other.
Okay.
They'll have
as far
the
as I
observatory,
know,
the telescope, and then a planetarium.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it's different.
For educational purposes.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I am going to call it now so Paul can get some sleep, and so he will return. And you gotta get to work, but we won't talk about that. But say nothing. But hoping that you will come back.
Yes.
For another project. For if I can get Robin Hood, when they come out, if they come out, they show it in the States. Hopefully, they will eventually.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be too long away. So
that would be nice.
It'll be yeah.
That'll be more work for me. Lovely.
Yeah.
Then we can have you back on again as an excuse.
Yep. I'm happy anytime.
We're happy to have you, Paul. You're just
always a
pleasure to have on. But so everyone out there, thank you everyone for joining us. Please join us Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific time for our review shows, and we'll be reviewing episode 6, the House of Cards. House of Cards.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's good. Everyone, take it easy, and we'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye all.
Bye-bye.